Woman, let me tell you something powerful today. You are not born by accident. You are not chosen by coincidence. Out of all your siblings, God handpicked you, not because you are better, but because there is something in you that others may not carry. And the day you understand why you were chosen, your life will never be the same again. You see, many people confuse being chosen with being preferred. They assume that because they were selected, it means they are better than the others. But let me tell you, woman, God does not choose based on human preference. People choose according to who they like, who looks good, who speaks well, who fits the part. But God chooses according to purpose. He looks not at the outer performance, but at the inner deposit He placed inside of you before the foundation of the world. Think about this in your own family. Maybe you've asked yourself, why me? Why am I the one carrying these responsibilities? Why do I have to be the strong one when everyone else seems free to live without pressure? That's because selection is not about preference. It's about purpose. Out of all your siblings, you may not be the loudest, the smartest, or the one people expected to rise, but you are the one God designed for a specific assignment that nobody else could handle. It's like in a company. When a CEO is looking for someone to take on a critical project, he doesn't just pick his favorite employee. No, he picks the one who has the skill, the knowledge, and the discipline to get the job done. That decision is not personal, it's strategic. In the same way, when God chooses you, it is not favoritism, it is strategy. He placed something in you that aligns with what the family, the community, or the generation will need at a specific time. Sometimes the chosen one is not the one people think is most qualified. Have you ever seen a family where maybe the older brother looks stronger, more educated, more confident, but it's the quiet daughter, the one sitting in the corner, who ends up holding the family together when crisis strikes? That's because God does not look at preference. He looks at purpose. And when purpose calls, even the underestimated will rise above the celebrated. Now, let me make this real for you. Imagine a mother in a household. She's not the wealthiest, not the most educated, but she has something in her, an ability to nurture, to guide, to sacrifice that none of the others in the family can replicate. When hardship comes, it's her purpose, not her preference, that positions her as the backbone of the home. Many times, woman, you have been asking yourself, why me? Why always me? And the answer is because purpose has identified you as the carrier of destiny. Purpose is like a fingerprint. It is unique, unrepeatable, and non-transferable. Your siblings may have their own roles, but your fingerprint is designed to unlock a door only you can open. You see, preference can change. Today, people may like you. Tomorrow, they may not. But purpose never changes. Purpose is eternal. That is why even when people reject you, overlook you, or dismiss you, you still find yourself standing up again, leading again, solving again. Because purpose does not ask permission to function. It simply demands expression. Let me tell you, being chosen does not mean being comfortable. It means being responsible. It means while others are playing, you are planning. While others are careless, you are cautious. While others are free, you are focused. Not because you want to be, but because your purpose forces you to be. That's why sometimes your siblings don't understand you. They think you're too serious, too strict, too different. But what they don't realize is that your difference is the evidence of your destiny. And here is the mind-blowing truth. God doesn't always choose the one who looks ready. He chooses the one who has been prepared internally, even if outwardly they look inadequate. That's why many women who were ignored, underestimated, and even mocked rise later to positions of influence and leadership. Because while others were busy being preferred by people, they were being prepared by God. Think about the daily examples you've seen. Maybe in your workplace, the promotion didn't go to the most popular staff member, but to the quiet one who had been diligent behind the scenes. Why? Because the company needed results, not reputation. The same applies to your life. God chooses based on the assignment, not on the applause. Woman, maybe in your family gatherings you felt invisible. Maybe you've watched your siblings get celebrated while you worked in silence. But don't confuse silence with insignificance. The hidden seasons of your life are where your purpose is sharpened. And when the time comes, it will be clear why you were chosen. Purpose does not need human validation. It only needs divine timing. You might be asking, but why did He give me such a hard path? Why so much responsibility? Because the weight of your journey is equal to the weight of your assignment. Diamonds are not found on the surface. They are hidden deep and extracted under pressure. In the same way, your greatness is revealed under the weight of responsibility. And I must tell you, being chosen means you are trusted with more. That's why sometimes your siblings escape the storms you must endure. They laugh while you labor. They sleep while you strategize. But don't let that discourage you. Purpose is expensive. Purpose will cost you sleep, comfort, and sometimes relationships. But purpose will also give you a legacy that preference could never produce. So when you see that you are carrying things your siblings don't carry, don't complain. Recognize it as the signature of your purpose. When you see that you are being stretched while others are relaxed, don't be bitter. Understand it as the evidence that you were built for something greater. And when you realize that God chose you not because of who you are now, but because of what He placed in you before you even knew yourself, then you will stop comparing yourself and start embracing your assignment. There is something remarkable about the weight that rests on your shoulders compared to your siblings. Many times you've wondered, hey, why does it feel like life keeps giving me the heavy loads while others get the lighter ones? The truth is, God never gives weight to a vessel that cannot carry it. You were chosen because your capacity is different. Your siblings may share the same parents, the same house, the same upbringing, but they do not share the same capacity. Inside of you, woman, there is a strength that has been forged by battles, tears, and moments of solitude that no one else can truly understand. Capacity is not visible on the outside. It's not about how you look, how tall you stand, or how eloquently you speak. Capacity is an internal strength, an unseen reservoir of resilience and courage that rises when pressure comes. Imagine two cups sitting side by side. They look the same on the table, but one can only hold water while the other can carry boiling oil without cracking. That is capacity. You may look just like your siblings, but the type of fire you can endure without breaking reveals that you were built differently. Have you noticed that in every family, there is usually one person who holds everything together when life collapses, the one everyone calls when there's a crisis, the one who sacrifices the most, worries the most, and carries the burdens of others without being asked? That person is the one with greater capacity, and more often than not, it's the woman who becomes that pillar. Not because she volunteered, but because she was designed that way. And design always reveals destiny. Think about a bridge. When engineers design a bridge, they calculate the weight it must carry. A smaller bridge can carry a car, but only a stronger bridge can carry trucks, buses, and trailers. You are that stronger bridge. That's why sometimes your path feels heavier than your siblings. You were not created to collapse under pressure. You were created to bear it and still keep standing. While others bend, you remain upright. While others crumble, you keep pressing forward. And that endurance is not weakness. It is evidence that you have been trusted with more. Maybe in your daily life, you've noticed this pattern. Your siblings may come to you with their issues, their frustrations, their secrets. You are the one they pour into because they know you can handle it. Even when you feel like you're drowning, you still manage to give advice, to provide, to comfort. And here's the mystery: you might not have as much money, as much education, or as many opportunities as them, yet they lean on you the most. That is not coincidence. That is capacity. It is the invisible crown of responsibility that sits on your head because you were chosen to carry what others cannot. Now, don't misunderstand. Having capacity doesn't mean life will be easy. In fact, it means the opposite. The greater your capacity, the greater the weight you will encounter. Some of the storms you faced would have crushed your siblings if they went through them. Some of the disappointments you endured would have destroyed them emotionally. But you survived because inside of you is a resilience they do not have. That's why you sometimes feel misunderstood, because you live on a level that others cannot comprehend. Let me give you a real example. In a household, one child may inherit the responsibility of caring for aging parents. While the others scatter or make excuses, this one child carries the load. It's not because life was unfair, but because that child was given the emotional strength, the patience, and the endurance to handle it. That is what it means to have capacity others don't have. And woman, if you look closely at your life, you will see that same pattern repeating over and over again. Capacity is also the reason why you have survived things that should have destroyed you. That heartbreak that left you on the floor crying, it didn't kill you. That financial crisis that drained your account, it didn't stop you. That betrayal that cut you so deeply, it didn't silence you. Why? Because your spirit is wired to absorb more, endure more, and overcome more than those around you. While others would have broken, you bent but bounced back. That is capacity. It can feel unfair. Sometimes you wish your load could be lighter, that maybe your siblings would share the weight more equally. But let me remind you, heavy loads are only given to strong shoulders. If a builder has to transport bricks, he doesn't call a fragile glass container. He calls a truck. And when God needed someone in your family who could carry pain, responsibility, vision, and leadership all at once, He looked at you. You are the truck in your family designed to carry cargo that others could never bear. Every time you survive what others cannot, you prove your design. Every time you rise after falling, you confirm your calling. And every time you keep moving with weight that would paralyze others, you show the world that you are not ordinary. You are the evidence of divine strength clothed in human form. That is why you were chosen over your siblings. Not because they are weak, but because you are strong. Not because they don't matter, but because you were designed to carry a weight they could not. To be chosen is not to live in comfort, but to live with responsibility. Many times, woman, the proof that you are chosen is not in how easy your life feels, but in how heavy it often becomes. Have you noticed that the one who is chosen rarely gets the easy path? The chosen one is the one who carries assignments that feel too big, dreams that feel too costly, and battles that feel too personal. You see, others can live without pressure, but you cannot. Others can walk away from responsibility, but you are compelled to stay. That's not because you want to, but because your destiny demands it. Being chosen comes with a weight that is invisible to outsiders. Your siblings may look at you and think you have it all together, but they do not see the nights you spend in silence, carrying burdens no one else is even aware of. They laugh while you wrestle. They relax while you sacrifice. They take things lightly while you are awake thinking about how to keep the family, the work, and the vision from falling apart. And you have asked yourself, why can't I just be carefree like them? Why can't I just let go and live as they do? Because you were not chosen for ease. You were chosen for impact. Think of a ship. The larger the ship, the greater the anchor it must carry. A small boat can drift quickly because it has no real cargo, but a massive ship must be anchored because it carries too much value. You women are like that ship. The burdens you carry are not punishment. They are proof of the value you hold. If your load is heavy, it's because your cargo is precious. In daily life, we see this everywhere. In a family, when crisis hits, everyone looks for one person to step in and solve it. That one person may not be the eldest, may not be the wealthiest, but they are the most responsible. They have the ability to rise under pressure. And while the others may avoid the fire, that one chosen individual is the one who steps into it. You are that one. You may not have asked for it, but you cannot deny it. Every time something goes wrong, eyes turn to you. Every time a solution is needed, the weight falls on you. That is the burden of being chosen. And the truth is that burden can be lonely. Sometimes you feel isolated even in a crowd because no one else can really understand what you are carrying. Your siblings may think you're too serious, too intense, or too different, but what they don't see is that responsibility has shaped you. Responsibility has pulled laughter out of your mouth and replaced it with vision in your eyes. Responsibility has pushed you to grow in areas they never had to consider. And while they live as if life is a playground, you live as if life is a battlefield, because for you, it is. Now listen to this. The burden of being chosen is not just about what you carry. It's about what you must give up. To be chosen means there are things you cannot do, places you cannot go, and choices you cannot make. While others indulge, you restrain. While others take shortcuts, you endure the long road. And it feels unfair, but it is not unfair. It is necessary because the chosen one cannot live like the crowd. The chosen one must live differently in order to produce differently. Have you noticed that sometimes your siblings will wonder why you are so strict with yourself? They may say, loosen up, live a little. Why are you always so focused? But what they don't realize is that your focus is the price of your calling. They are free to be casual because their assignment is not as costly as yours. Your burden demands discipline. Your burden demands sacrifice. Your burden demands foresight. And that's why you live with a seriousness that others might not understand. Think about a soldier in training. While civilians sleep, he runs. While others eat whatever they want, he measures his diet. While others relax, he sharpens his skills. Why? Because his calling demands a different lifestyle. That's you. Woman, you can't live casually because your destiny doesn't permit it, and that is the burden of being chosen. You are always under preparation, always under pressure, always carrying more than those around you. Even in friendships and relationships, the burden shows itself. You might feel that you give more than you receive. You're the one pouring out, supporting, encouraging, lifting others up, but very few can truly pour back into you. That is because the chosen often function as well as sources from which others draw. It may seem draining, but it's also the evidence of the assignment you carry. You were designed to be a source. That's why people run to you in their dry seasons. That's why they come to you when they are empty. Because even when you feel tired, there is still something in you that flows. The burden of being chosen is also revealed in how you handle pain. While others break under disappointment, you find a way to keep moving. While others give up, you find a way to rebuild. And you wonder, why? Why do I always have to be the strong one? It's because your strength is not just for you. It's for everyone attached to you. You were built to carry not just your own life, but the lives of others connected to you. That is a heavy responsibility, but it is also a sacred trust. When you look back at your life, you will realize that every hard season was shaping you for this burden. The rejections toughened your skin. The losses deepened your wisdom. The betrayals sharpened your discernment. Each pain was not random, it was preparation. Because the chosen cannot step into destiny untested. The chosen must be proven by fire so that when the weight comes, they do not collapse. So, woman, the loneliness you feel, the pressure you carry, the sacrifices you make, the discipline you maintain, all of it is evidence of the burden of being chosen. While others laugh in the sunshine, you carry the weight in the shadows. While others enjoy freedom, you carry responsibility. And while others may never understand the price you pay, you know deep inside that this burden is the mark of one who has been trusted with destiny. Every family carries patterns. Some patterns are beautiful, like the way laughter echoes through gatherings or the way resilience is passed down through generations. But there are also dark patterns, cycles of poverty, cycles of broken relationships, cycles of fear, cycles of limitation. And in every family, there comes a moment when one person is raced to break what has been repeated for too long. Woman, that one person is you. You have been chosen not just to live differently, but to break the cycle that held those before you captive. Think about your own family. Maybe your grandmother struggled in silence, your mother endured in silence, and now the same weight seems to knock on your door. But you feel something stirring inside you that refuses to accept the same story. That resistance in your spirit, that inner fire that says, it must stop with me, that is the sign you were chosen. You are the interruption to the generational script. You are the voice that says, this ends here. Say every cycle continues until someone interrupts it. If no one interrupts, poverty becomes a tradition. If no one interrupts, abuse becomes a pattern. If no one interrupts, broken dreams become an inheritance. But when one person rises, the script is rewritten. And that person may not look the strongest, the wealthiest, or the most influential, but they carry an assignment inside that refuses to let history keep repeating itself. You are that assignment in human form. Daily life reveals this in powerful ways. Look at the families where no one went to school beyond a certain level, and suddenly one daughter pushes herself, works 2 jobs, studies late into the night, and graduates. Her siblings may not understand why she works so hard, but deep down she knows she cannot allow the cycle of limitation to continue. Or think about the families where marriages kept collapsing, and suddenly one woman decides she will not repeat the mistakes she witnessed. She builds differently, loves differently, and chooses differently. That is breaking a pattern. Breaking generational patterns is not easy because what you are fighting is not just your own struggle, it is the accumulated weight of what has been tolerated for years. That's why it feels heavier for you. Your siblings may lie casually, but you feel a weight they do not. They may say, why are you so serious about life? They don't realize that you are carrying not just your future, but the responsibility of transforming the future of those who come after you. When you win, your children win. When you rise, your nieces and nephews rise. When you break the cycle, the whole family line breathes differently. Consider this: when a farmer plants a tree in hard ground, the first tree has to break through the toughest soil. The ground is dry, resistant, and unbroken. The tree struggles, but once it pierces the surface, every tree planted afterward finds it easier to grow. You are that first tree. You are breaking the hard ground so that everyone who comes after you can grow with less resistance. Your struggle is not wasted. It is a foundation for the generations that will follow. Many women live with silent questions. Why am I always the one pushing forward while others seem satisfied with less? Why can't I just accept things the way they are? The answer is because you were not born to continue. You were born to change. You were not born to repeat. You were born to rewrite. You were not born to echo. You were born to declare something new. And the discomfort you feel with mediocrity is the evidence that you are designed for more. It takes courage to stand against what everyone before you accepted. It takes courage to say, no, I will not settle where they settled. No, I will not repeat what they repeated. No, I will not tolerate what destroyed them. That courage is not ordinary. It is the mark of one who has been chosen. Others may laugh at you, call you stubborn, say you're trying to be different. Let them talk. Difference is the proof of destiny. If you fit in, you cannot change anything. To break a pattern, you must be willing to be misunderstood. And here is the remarkable truth. Once you break a cycle, everyone connected to you benefits. Your siblings who may not have carried the same burden will still enjoy the fruit of your sacrifice. They may not understand the weight you carried, but they will eat from the harvest you planted. This is why your journey sometimes feels unfair. You work hard, they relax. You endure pain, they live easy. But the reality is you were chosen as the door. Once you open it, everyone behind you can walk through. Look at families where one woman decided poverty ends with her. She starts a business, she builds wealth, and suddenly the family has opportunities they never dreamed of. Or the family where addiction plagued every generation until one woman refused to touch what destroyed her father and brothers. Suddenly, her children grow up free from what once seemed inevitable. That is the power of being chosen to break a cycle. You might not feel qualified. You might even look at your siblings and think they are stronger, smarter, or better positioned than you. But remember, cycles are not broken by who looks ready. They are broken by who is called. You are not chosen because you are the favorite. You are chosen because you are the one willing to fight, to endure, to resist, and to change. And when you carry that responsibility, even if you walk alone, you carry the future of many with you. Woman, listen closely, because this is the moment where everything we've been talking about comes together. You have been asking questions all your life. Paf, why me? Why the struggles? Why the weight? Why the sleepless nights? Why am I the one who carries burdens while others live carelessly? And the answer is this: you are chosen. You are chosen not because you were the loudest, not because you were the most visible, not because you were the one everyone thought would succeed. You are chosen because there is something inside of you that no one else in your family, no one else in your bloodline, no one else in your circle carries. You are the difference. You are the one. And let me tell you something powerful. Being chosen is never about being comfortable. It is about being significant. Comfort is temporary, but significance is eternal. Comfort fills your moment, but significance fills generations. When you were born, you did not just arrive on earth, you were sent. You came carrying an assignment that was already written before you opened your eyes. And that is why nothing about your life has been random. Every tear, every trial, every betrayal, every closed door, it was all shaping you to fulfill the very thing you were chosen for. You may look at your siblings and wonder why their path looks easier, but do not envy ease. Ease produces nothing great. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Champions are forged in struggle. Leaders are born out of pain. You are carrying weight because you are carrying value. You are enduring storms because you are destined to command seas. You are facing battles because you are designed to win wars others cannot even step into. Stop looking at your life as though you are cursed. You are not cursed, you are trusted. Trusted with responsibility, trusted with destiny, trusted with the assignment of breaking what others could not. Greatness has a price, and you, woman, have been paying that price silently. You've been walking roads that felt lonely. You've been making sacrifices no one clapped for. You've been building in the dark where nobody celebrated you. But let me remind you, the applause of men cannot compare to the approval of destiny. Your reward is not in being seen, it is in being significant. And one day, those who laughed will witness the fruit of your labor. One day, those who ignored you will eat from the table you prepared. One day, those who doubted you will live in the freedom your courage created. Do not let the heaviness make you forget who you are. You were not chosen to blend in, you were chosen to stand out. You were not chosen to repeat, you were chosen to rewrite. You were not chosen to follow, you were chosen to lead. And yes, leadership is lonely. Yes, it is costly. Yes, it often hurts, but leadership is also legacy. And what you build today will become the foundation your children and grandchildren stand on tomorrow. Remember this, the chosen are always different. They think differently. They act differently. They endure differently. Don't waste your energy trying to convince others to understand your journey. They are not supposed to understand it because it is not their assignment. It is yours. Stop comparing yourself to those who are not built with your weight. Stop lowering your standards to fit in with those who were never designed to carry what you carry. Stop apologizing for being chosen. Stop hiding your light to make others comfortable. You were not born to be invisible. You were born to shine. Woman, lift your head, straighten your back, wipe your tears. You are carrying something greater than the pain of today. You are carrying destiny, and destiny never bows to difficulty. Destiny rises above it. When life pushes you down, rise again, because resilience is the language of the chosen. When people betray you, keep walking, because betrayal is the classroom of the chosen. When doors close in your face, knock again, because persistence is the key of the chosen. And when you feel like giving up, remind yourself of this truth. Quitters never change history, but the chosen always do. You may have been overlooked, but you are not replaceable. You may have been underestimated, but you are not forgettable. You may have been doubted, but you are undeniable. You are the evidence that one person can carry the future of many. And the same voice that whispered to you in your darkest nights, the same power that sustained you in your weakest moments, is the same force that will elevate you to heights no one thought possible. So step boldly into your assignment. Walk with authority into your destiny. Speak with confidence into your future. Because you are not ordinary, you are chosen. And when the chosen rise, history shifts, doors open, chains break, and generations are transformed. Never again question why. The answer has always been clear. You were chosen because the world could not afford to lose what only you can carry.